Very good afternoon, everybody. Respected Dr. B.K. Krishnarat, Bhanavara sir, Educationist, Coimbatore. Respected Dr. A.K. Patra sir, Vice Chancellor, BCKB, West Bengal. Respected Dr. M. Ravindran sir, Director of Research, TNAU, Coimbatore. Respected Dr. P. Balasubramanian sir, Director, DNRM, TNAU, Coimbatore. Respected Dr. V. Murugappan sir, former Director, Soil and Crop Management Studies, TNAU, Coimbatore. I welcome you all to this valedictory function of the 89th Annual Convention of the Indian Society of Soil Science. So, in brief, I will give you what we have done during the last 3 days in this program. First of all, the inaugural program was there in the Anna Auditorium. Dr. Himanshu Pathak presented the presidential address. Dr. Thiru V. Dakshinamurthy, IAS, who is the Agricultural Production Commissioner and Secretary to Government of Agriculture, Farmers Welfare Department, presented the inaugural address. And it ended with a vote of thanks by Dr. Selvi. Then we had 42nd Professor J. Mukherjee ISSS Foundation lecture by Dr. S.B. Datta, former Director, Indian Institute of Soil Science, on application of principles of soil chemistry in assessing and remediating polluted soils. Dr. B.P. Singh, the past president, also the honorary member, was the chairperson of this session. After lunch, we had the special FAI sponsored session on innovative fertilizer formulations. Another past president and honorary member, Dr. S.K. Chaudhary, Director General FAI, was chairing that session. We had then concurrent sessions in 4 different halls. Development in soil science. One is on nature-friendly soil management. Another is on fertilizer management in 2 different halls, and on digital soil science. We had the first Dr. D.K. Das IAR Memorial Lecture. The speaker was Dr. Anil Kumar Singh, former Vice Chancellor, Gwalior, and also of soil physics for climate smart agriculture. Dr. G. Narusami sir, another past president, was the chair. Of course, I just wanted to tell that we had a very nice cultural program at the Anna Auditorium on the first day, and it was very well organized, and we all enjoyed a lot. Thank you very much. Our topic was the importance of land available silicon for soil health and sustainable agriculture. Followed by, we had a very special symposium, soil management for rural transformation. Dr. Srinivasa Rao, direct nicely, including Dr. A.K. Patra sir, Vice Chancellor Kollani, who delivered different speeches. Afternoon, we had national seminar on development in soil science in 4 different halls. As I said, fertilizer management, digital soil science, climate resilient soil management, followed by poster sessions. And in the evening, we have the first Dr. Bhakya Das BCKB Memorial Lecture. The speaker was Professor Vishwapati Mandal, former Professor Soil Science and Pro-Vice Chancellor BCKB. The topic was soil research and soil scientist of India, a practitioner's view. And the chairperson was another past president and honorary member, Dr. J.S. Samra sir. We had then an 89th Annual General Body meeting in this hall, followed by dinner. Today morning, we started with the most exciting part of this convention is the ISSS Best Doctoral Research Presentation Award Contest. So, as many as 6 PhD recipients, they presented their award. They are competing for one award. So, we'll be selecting or declaring the award in a short while from now. In the forenoon at about 11:30, the National Seminar on Development in Soil Science in 4 different halls, followed by lunch and then the poster presentations. And now this is the concluding session. Thank you so much for joining with us. Thank you, sir.
We now request the Director of Research, Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, Coimbatore. May we now request the May we now request we also Professor and Head Department of Soil Science and Agricultural Chemistry. Thank you everybody, sir. Thank you, madam. For the past
And we will again revisit this at the secretariat level, and then we'll come out not more than 20 recommendations out of this conference. Of course, after my this presentation, I would request Dr. Murthy to come and present the recommendations from the FAI sponsor session. So, first of all, number 1, superiority of integrated nutrient management, combination of organic manures, chemical fertilizers and biofertilizers proved a better approach to improve yield and quality of turmeric. So it's not only turmeric, this is true for other crops also, this would be recommended. Regenerative agricultural practices such as organic and natural farming could improve soil organic carbon, soil enzyme activity, structure and functional diversity of soil microbes. The organically grown intercropping system had a vital role in enhancing soil properties and carbon pools. Cotton plus sun hemp and soybean plus pigeon pea should be recommended to be suitable for improved soil property, carbon pools and yield of various crops in different regions of the country. Incorporated as K fertilizer, potassium fertilizer in the STS and STCR recommended schedule could improve physical, chemical and biological properties of soil. Number 5, zinc solubilizing bacteria and arbuscular macroalgal fungi can influence rhizosphere carbon flow and nutrient bioavailability by altering root exudation, offering insight into nutrient efficient crop production in an alkaline zinc deficient soils.
Thing to interact with all the scientists and share our views on the new product formulations. So the first recommendation or conclusion is that you all know fertilizer subsidy is one of the most I can say the highest amount of subsidy amount is paid on fertilizers to make these fertilizers available to the farmers at affordable rates. But it is not evenly distributed, so our recommendation is that the fertilizer subsidy to the extent of almost 2.5 lakh crores has to be distributed uniformly on all nutrient containing fertilizers. As of now, 70% of the subsidy is going for urea alone, making it one of the cheapest fertilizers, and it is available, you all know, at 266 rupees a bag. So the farmers are using excessive usage and they are not at fault. It is the fault of the policy that we have to correct it. So we have to distribute the huge amount of fertilizer subsidy not only on other nutrient carrying fertilizers but also on research. We have to spend some part of the amount on research side so that we can intensively carry out research at the institutional levels, at the university level, at the ICR Institute, so that it will be, new generation fertilizers can be developed. We are already doing that, but still a lot of research has to be done. It is in the interest of the farmers as well as in the interest of the soil health. Of technologies like genomics, robotics, information and nanotechnology with the traditional knowledge system and collaboration with advanced research institutes is
it is only the teacher can tell that my students are there. A doctor cannot tell that my patients are there. So, beloved Mr. Ravindran DR, TNAU, the Vice Chancellor PCVK, Dr. Patra, Chief Guest of this evening, Dr. PK Vanavaraya, who is a Gandhian and influenced by Dr. Vivekananda, basically a farmer, barrister, turned textile businessman, and now he is also running an agriculture college in Pollachi, nearby town. The Secretary IAS Dr. Ranjan Bhattacharya, Joint Secretary Manoj Srivastava, Dr. Selvi, Professor in the Department of Soil Science, Dr. Balasubramanian, Director of Natural Resource Management, of Soil Science, and the invited guests, award recipients, and dear participants. It is indeed a privilege to stand before this esteemed gathering on the occasion of the valedictory session of the University of Soil Science. We cover 2 points. One is our chief guest may not know the diversity of our subject. So, our subject has got soil science, very core discipline like soil physics, soil pedology, soil fertility, soil chemistry and soil pedology, soil biology including soil biology. And it has got applied aspect of sciences, soil fertility, soil conservation, soil microbiology, edapology, environmental science, soil biotechnology, soil mineralogy, soil remediation, and nanofertilizer. So much of area we cover as soil science. We should feel proud about it. Other sciences are not like this. But when you kindly excuse me, you are biotechnology, don't take it away. We are also applied in the field of artificial intelligence that revolutionizes soil science by enabling advanced analysis of large data sets from remote sensing, spectral analysis, IoT sensors that improves health monitoring, predict crop yield, and optimize agricultural practices. This leads to more sustainable agriculture through better resource management, including precision nutrient management, soil erosion, and increased water use efficiency. You all know that. And soil science is linked to decline of civilization. An important point I have to tell here, it is again because of the chief guest. I mentioned here 2 civilizations, Mayan civilization and Indus Valley civilization. Mayan civilization existed some 6,000 years back in Central America, even and southeastern Mexico and in the entire Guatemala, the islands of Guatemala, and the plains of Pacific Ocean. And that civilization faltered because of soil, because soil is the major factor for it. And the Mayans believed that in the steppe, the soil's depth is very shallow, but again it is grassland, Mali soil in our classification. They resorted to intensive cultivation. The soil got depleted. That was the major reason for the Mayans to perish. This is one aspect. Another, our own part of the world, in the northwest region, the Indus Valley civilization. Again, deforestation, intensive agriculture, and the change of river courses, and thereby soil degradation, that faltered the Indus Valley civilization. The people started migrating eastward towards Indo-Gangetic plain, and afterwards from there to south also. I believe so. It is not written there anywhere. Therefore, our role to ensure the continued function of living skin of the earth upon which terrestrial life depends must continue. We have to feel proud that we sustain civilization, as I said. And the challenge The next aspect is he was raising a question, the guest speaker. We have a store of technology. The Tamil Nadu Agriculture Ministry has got developed the Agri-Tech portal, where all output of research from this institution is listed, everything for any crop, even neripair, is very, very unimportant crop. We have got technology. And everything is listed. But even then, the farmers are not happy. That's what he raised when we were sitting there taking. Yes, farmers are not happy. Not now, even earlier. I don't know how many of you read the book written by Yuval Noah Harari. The book name is Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind. He calls the agricultural revolution as the history's biggest fraud. That's still there. In his perception, the agricultural revolution certainly enlarged the sum total of food at disposal of humankind. But the extra food that produced did not translate a better diet and life or more leisure for the producers. That is what is happening now today also. And rather, it translated into a population explosion and pampered elites. The average farmer worked harder than his counterpart, the foragers, that is the hunter-gatherer, who spent their time in more stimulating and varied ways and were less in danger of starvation and disease. Compared to the original form of life, the farmers were suffering then. Now also they are suffering. But the yield is going on increasing. We are going on proposing new technologies, and as Dr. Murthy said, new fertilizers. We have everything, but what is happening, someone has to propose. I recall the Green Revolution, I was also talking about it, the 3 C's who were responsible for the Green Revolution, Dr. C. Subramanian, Dr. M. Swaminathan, and Sivaraman. And there, the philosophy or the concept is that mutual reinforcement of organization, that is a research organization, technology, credit, that is giving credit to the farmers, and the service, the extension agency. Mutual reinforcement of technology, service and credit that enabled the Green Revolution to succeed. Something youngsters think of that. You think of Dr. Kurian from Anand Dairy, whose effort, he pressed a button, now everywhere milk is available, we have become number 1 in milk production. Some concept, some thinking must come from youngsters. Dr. Swaminathan proposed the second Green Revolution, but it can't take up because he submitted a report, Farmers Commission to Government of India. It is still there in the file. Nothing emerges. We have to, as youngsters, we have to think of and propose another concept whereby agriculture can take up and profit the farmers. Now the farmers are not taking the profit. I myself, as a personal example, during pandemic period, I was here in Coimbatore. I thought that I should go to a safe place. I went to my village in Tanjavur district, airport go day. So we had 5 acres of wetland. I started going for cultivating it after retirement. And I finally incurred a loss of 90,000 rupees. Then people at the village they were laughing at me because you are a scientist, you are not able to get the property. But even then I took improved variety, rice planter, combined harvester, everything, modern technology. And the fertilizer also I applied. Even then I incurred a loss. But that was supposed compensated by the crop insurance, 90,000 rupees. So I was happy. No loss, no gain. I did agriculture, came back to Coimbatore. That is the thing. Then I took a photograph of the field and sent it to my friends, my classmates in PG. One of my classmates, Dr. Chaudhary from Ayodhya district, UP, he is now in Chicago after completing PhD in soil science. He's in the airport security. He said, he called me over phone and said, Murugappan, are you in agriculture? Don't do that. Then said, why? You will lose money. You know, even in America, farmers are losing money. And they have made a lot of investment on machinery. It is a dead investment. That is the concept nowadays. That has to be changed. Youngsters have to think very aloud and propose new concept. There will be some ideas, somewhere some idea. And coming to my job, over the past 3 days we have witnessed an inspiring confluence of ideas, innovation and scientific dialogue that reaffirms the timeless significance of soil to our nation's food security, environmental sustainability and agricultural prosperity. Let us always remember that for 95% of food production, the soils are the foundation, and you all know that. The famous slogan is, everything comes from and goes back into the soil. This you have to remember.
As the Vice Chancellor of the VCKVA, and our senior teacher, our professor, former director, Soil and Crop Management Studies, Dr. Murugappan sir, our director of research, my good friend, Dr. Ravi, land, water, soil, life. There is in our government of Tamil Nadu, has announced a scheme, Mannuil Kaathu, Mannuil Kaappu. In that scheme, we should protect the microbes in the soil to protect the life above the earth. That's the concept. So in this way, we know everyone for the last 3 days deliberations, we know everyone that our soil quality is deteriorating, our soil organic carbon is declining. We learned lesson from the 116 years experiment, permanent manual experiment, which is found in our Tamil Nadu Agriculture University. It clearly gives lesson, but we know all the soils, we have 5 cents, but soil has 7 cents. Sorry, we have 6 cents, soil has 7 cents. We do not know when you sow a seed in the soil whether it will germinate or not. But soil will decide if the viable seed or healthy seed, it will allow that seed to germinate from the soil to become a plant. If the soil is because the seed is dead or unhealthy, it decomposes and converts into nutrients and manure for its growth in the plant. So that is the capacity soil is having. So I don't want to take much time, but only a few these things. So the declining organic carbon needs to be looked into all the soil scientists of the country. Yes, that's more important. So without soil organic matter, nothing can be. The soil will become inert and dead. Even if we die, if you bury it in the soil, we will not be decomposed. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Distinguished dignitaries on and off the dais and friends, come to TNAU. I am the oldest in this gathering, so I have been coming right from 60 years onwards. So I have been seeing the growth of this university, and today I understand it's the oldest and perhaps the most prestigious university of India. And all of you have made it to what it is today. And it has played a very pivotal role in the Green Revolution. So it's always a pleasure to come here. And I should compliment the Department of Soil Science and Agriculture Chemistry for organizing this 3-day event. It's not easy to organize a thing like this and sustain the enthusiasm for 3 days. And the speaker who comes for the valedictory session is easily the most challenging. And many of you, I understand, have come from all over India. And your mind is all now on journey backwards. When will all this be over? When can we return home? Am I right? And I'm told that after 20 years you are organizing this event, I believe. So first let me congratulate the two departments for having done it so well. And a friend read out all the proceedings for all the 3 days. How many papers, sir?
130.
How many speakers?
130 speakers.
And still you are all so cheerful. Which means I first compliment all of you first. Give a hand to yourself. Some of you have found a bit sleepy. Tired. But after a friend, Mr. Balasubramanian speaking, I told Mr. Murugan, tell our friend that there is a mic here. Do you take the classes also like this? Huh?
More than 120 students have taken class.
You should have gone to politics. So, let me tell you one thing. You're all scientists. And when the madam came and invited me, I told her, why me? I'm not a scientist. I'm a commerce graduate and got into the postgraduate law. So that being the case, how will I be able to do justice to a gathering like this? Very learned, very distinguished. Then she told me, don't worry, sir. We are given only 10 minutes. It's not difficult to say something for 10 minutes. And if you really think that I am the right person for this event to give the valedictory address, you got to give me a little more time. Then very graciously you said 20 minutes. So now I should stop at 5 o'clock.
No, you can take your own time.
But we'll all get it there. I will take all the time. And I already hear a bit of a murmuring going on in the rear. You can't blame them, you know. You can't keep people sitting for 3 days and listening to 100 and odd papers and so many number of speakers, all telling the same thing all of them. Very difficult. So I am not a scientist. Basically I am a farmer. And I have 2 agricultural colleges. And I voted imprisonment and went to jail in a farmer's agitation. In a farmer's agitation, you should all be in the frontier. Suppose there comes another agitation, will you all come with me? I don't think. Because he did farming and has burnt his fingers. Mr. Murugan, you know, this is like a consultant who tells the corporates how to run business. Suppose starts a business himself, invariably he is a failure. So you scientists better be scientists, don't do farming. Proceed to it, we do well. And there is a joke around. If you want to prosper in farming, don't consult a scientist. Consult another farmer. Look at that. Everybody approving it. So I am basically a farmer and not a scientist. Maybe you can call me a social scientist. Because we are concerned about the society. And while talking, Mr. Murugan said I am an admirer of Mahatma Gandhi and Swami Vivekananda. I am from the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. It was started in the year 1938 with the blessings of Mahatma Gandhi. I am now a trustee at the national level. We have 300 odd institutions all over India. Have nothing to do with it. But still I picked up the courage and I have come here. Now let me get into it. Now, my approach will be a little different. Not soil alone. I'm looking at the macro picture. It's a global challenge, you know. Often we hear about global warming, climate change. ecological imbalance, all these things we hear and read day in and day out. And soil is only one part of it. The damage has happened everywhere. It is primarily a conflict between man and nature. Now you see elephants coming to race course. You are going to the forest and the animals are coming to the towns and cities. So there is a conflict going on between man and nature. So that being the case, you would have been discussed the last 3 days what has gone wrong, when it all started, and what is the way out. That's what I guess in all the 3 days you would have been discussing. And you read out all the 34 solutions that you have given. I didn't understand even one bit of it. Very technical. But all I know is things have gone wrong. And I was happy to know that you have some solution. So will it all happen in my lifetime? Not too sure. So it's a very serious problem, you know. Last 3 days, what you have been discussing is easily the biggest challenge. And yesterday, our Prime Minister was in the city. And he was addressing a farmer's speech. And he was actually, if you read his speech, all that you have been discussing the last 3 days, he has said it. So what I'm trying to come to is, all of us know what the challenge is. All of us know what the solution is. All of us know how to go about it. Why nothing is happening? This university is 160 years old, I believe. And a good deal of research is happening. And our friend said that more money should be given to research. But then in spite of all the awareness that has come, things are going from bad to worse. When something will happen to redeem the situation is the real challenge. So, now I asked my friend, from when on this litigation has been happening? I asked you, sir, and you told me maybe the last 100 years. Maybe take it even 150 years. From when on this litigation happened? When did we start disturbing nature? And now nature is trying to take revenge on us. Take it from me. If nature decides to take revenge, you and I are too small to counter it. We have to succumb to it. That is a threat that is there world over. It is a global phenomenon. And all the leaders of the world arrange for a summit meet, and what is the theme? Save planet Earth. You know that? Save planet Earth. And President Bush was the President of America, and he rang up to Dr. Manmohan Singh and said, sir, you've got to come and speak. Someone come and address. Dr. Manmohan Singh said, sorry, I have some work at home, I won't be able to come. And you know what Bush said? When Singh speaks, the world listens. Say that again. And the singer belongs to me. Oh, you won't be able to understand Tamil. How many here won't be able to understand Tamil, please? Oh, quite a few. I always respect the minorities. Because they said I am Indian. So, and Bush said, India alone has the answer. So you have to come. And Prime Minister Manmohan Singh went. And for your information, we are great friends. He stayed with me for 2 days in Coimbatore with me. A wonderful person. So why I'm telling you all this? India has the answer. We have the answer. And the whole world looks to India for solutions. But we have to structure these events in a slightly different way. Abuse of science is the cause for everything. And now we have to make the same science to set right. And in between, who's the culprit? We are the culprits. Don't blame science. Science is not to be found fault. It is the misuse and abuse of science that has costed the whole humanity this much. So Save Planet Earth is the theme today. So The Prime Minister very nicely said yesterday, I happened to watch it on television. He said, India has to show the way. And he enumerated a lot of things what India is doing. It is a fact as well. Now look at the times. What happened in the last 100 years? The great changes that happened in the last 100 years. One, the birth of democracy. Country after country got liberated from the colonial rule and started trying out democracy and guaranteed fundamental rights. Point one. Point two are the economic reforms. From 3% GDP, we have gone up to 7, even 8 at times. We are now in the 6.7 or something like that. Then the third one, very important, as a result of which the aspirations of the common man has gone up. Nobody is content with anything. In our times, we didn't have these malls, 11-kilometer flyover. We were all there on the inauguration day. And the collector told me the other day, after the 11-kilometer flyover came, traffic is a lot better. But sir, there is another problem. The earlier flyover is now in trouble because traffic comes very fast and gets stagnated here. So what I'm telling you is, all migration from villages to cities, because of villages getting neglected and agriculture becoming no more viable, the problem is going to, this 11-kilometer flyover, after 5-10 years, take it from me, there's going to be congestion. So the solution has to be in villages and agriculture. Make villages self-reliant and agriculture a little more viable. There's no other way. So this is the solution, in other words, friends, this question of rampant materialism. All luxuries are getting converted into necessities. You elders will understand what I'm saying. We are from times when we are relying on All India Radio. Then came television. The first television in India was for 3 hours a day, black and white. One TV in a home. Then slowly came the color TV. Then came 600 channels in India today. And finally, there are 3 televisions in one home, one house. Because you want to see something, I want to see something else. And our children want to see something else. So there are 3 TVs. So consumption is on the rise. I'm going to propose to this very learned gathering a new formula. You can call it as 1 hour formula. If all of you clap, it will be more. You know what is that formula? COC. So we have COC. What is it? Cap on consumption. Cap on consumption. If consumerism is going to happen the way it is, and you know what our elders have said, consume less, contribute more. You know, there was a great Swamiji here, Swami Dayananda Saraswati, a great philosopher. He's no more. I happen to know him very closely. He used to say, contribute more, consume less. You have to write it somewhere. Man has to contribute more and consume less. Today it's the other way around. We consume more and contribute little or nothing. That's where all the conflict begins. So, a mention was made about Mahatma Gandhi. That old man had the answer for all this. But sad, we have forgotten it. Mahatma Gandhi's doctrines could be condensed into 2 simple sentences. Simple living, high thinking. 1. Ends do not justify the means. These are the doctrines of Mahatma Gandhi. Simple living, high thinking. Don't lead a very lavish life. Lead a simple life. Let your thoughts be very high. But your living has to be within some control. And means need not justify, the ends need not justify the means. Mahatma cautioned humanity. Big borrow steel, come up with like this society will celebrate you. This is the order of the day. Big borrow steel, this stupid society will celebrate you. But a person of my age group and my generation, you know something, sir, I garlanded Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and shook hands with him. I have driven a car for Kamaraj, and I work closely with people like C. Subramanian. I have seen that generation. There's no comparison to them now. And now, the other day, when these friends came to meet me, to you from outside also I can say, we have created a memorial for Mahatma Gandhi. A house where the Mahatma stayed in the year 1934. We have converted into a memorial. If you come there, you can see how the Mahatma lived and how his room was, all the things that he used, all that we are carefully preserving. 100 and odd rare photographs, original photographs of the life of Mahatma Gandhi. Why I am telling all that is, what is the economics of Mahatma Gandhi? It's worth knowing in a conference like this. Today we are talking about market economics, socialism, communism, what else? Swadeshi economics. But what is Mahatma Gandhi's economics? Can I tell you? Please note it. Is it being recorded? Mahatma Gandhi's economics, just 5 lines. Creation of wealth through fair means, equitable distribution of the same, without endangering nature within and without, paving the way for a sustainable economic development, finally guaranteeing lasting peace and happiness on earth. Give a hand for the Mahatma. 5 lines. I will do it myself. Creation of wealth through fair means, equitable distribution of the same, without endangering nature within and without, paving the way for a sustainable economic development, finally guaranteeing lasting peace and happiness. This is the economics of Mahatma Gandhi. If only these are written in the walls of our university, and all economists and scientists keep reading this day in and day out. There's no time to elaborate on these 5 lines. I'm only having 3 more minutes. She has been kind enough to extend by another 10 minutes. Thank you very much. We were the culprits. Now you have to do something about it. It's not the 3 days you have spent on this topic, there cannot be a more relevant topic for today. There is enough and more to take care of your needs, but not your greed. You cannot survive even for a single day. Thank God, the patience of nature is such that it is endangering the very existence of humanity or life, I would say. So you scientists have to enlarge the discussion, not limit to science. Threat is happening to the whole nature. And we have been fooling around all along. And this economic, you mentioned about the green revolution, so one of the speakers said, is the main cause. See, Subramanian, sir, I am a good friend of M.S. Swaminathan. Just stay with me. And how many of you know, Swaminathan as a small boy sat on the laps of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi, M.S. Swaminathan வீட்டுக்கு போயிருக்கார். Mahatma M.S. Swaminathan சின்ன குழந்தையா இருக்கையில, he was taken to Ramana ashram, and again Bhagavan Ramana blessed M.S. Swaminathan. இதெல்லாம் இந்த பின்னணியில் தெரியாது. I got to tell you that a great person, sir. Together we worked together. I was the former chairman of Indian Cotton Mill Federation for the whole nation, and I brought in the cotton technology mission. And it was C. Subramanian who introduced me to Swaminathan, and Swaminathan helped me. I met 3 prime ministers, and finally came the cotton technology mission. So I know what I'm talking. So friends, my final request is, in the syllabus of every student who studies agriculture, please tell them all these things. The threat that they have to face, and how they have to prepare themselves. The only thing, please come to that Mahatma Gandhi memorial. I think I gave you or somebody a copy. Huh? You have it. Please come to the Mahatma Gandhi memorial. And it is there, Mahatma Gandhi made a very historic statement, you know. He said, I will never have a natural death. Mahatma Gandhi said it sitting in that little house. I will never have a natural death. I will either be hung by a hangman or be shot by an assassin. I will never have a natural death. This he uttered in that very little building. So please come to the Mahatma Gandhi Memorial. That old man had a solution for all time. But sad we have ignored it. We have given him up. But today the whole world is celebrating. But we have forgotten the man. So in your syllabus, madam, bring all these things. Tell them a little about the India, the culture, the heritage, the civilization. And what our elders have said. You mentioned about Swami Vivekananda. You know what Swami Vivekananda said about education? Solama said, who is the buck stuff with you? You are the, what is education? You have a new education policy. None of them will answer the question as Swami Vivekananda said. He says like this. And if you say this to the youth of India today in your classrooms, how India will emerge as a great power. You know what Swami Vivekananda said? He says, teach yourself, teach everyone his true nature, call upon the sleeping soul and see how it awakes. Power will come, glory will come, goodness will come, purity will come, and all that is excellent will come when the sleeping soul is raised to self-conscious activity, no time to explain. So, I leave it to your guessing. Go to the Ramakrishna Mission, buy a book known as Education, Swami Vivekananda on Education. Read that book, please, please. Then you know what education is. Education is not preparing the youth for a career. To the contrary, career has to subserve a goal larger than life for the youth. So you have to give a prescription to the youth of what this rare human birth is all about, how it has to be lived, and not to be lost in just a career. Give them a degree or a diploma and get them a job and chase them away. And they go away to America and never to come back. And they put you and all of us in the old age home. And old age home is the biggest business, you know. So I wind up by saying, don't limit your discussion to soil alone. The threat is much larger. The threat is, the very existence of life on earth is on threat today. So if we want to address that, we've got to look back. Our present day science and its approach has its own limitations. That's why Vivekananda said, there has to be a synthesis of science and spirituality, the ultimate prescription of Vivekananda. A synthesis of science and spirituality. Spirituality is not religion, that's something different. Again, no time for that. So thank you for the, I have exceeded by 2 minutes. Sorry for that. Thank you all very much. 1 minute. All those who have come from outside, Coimbatore is a great place. Apron, we are good people.
Respected and visionary leader through Krishnaraj Manavaraya. So my respectful teacher Dr. Murugapan and the most respected Vice Chancellor BCKV Kolkata and other officials of ISSS Indian Society of Soil Science and respected and recognized researchers in the field of soil science and nation. And all the researchers, young researchers in the field. I will start from where our most respected guest stop cap on consumption, right? With that, I want to emphasize or continue like we will not remain mere consumers of the produce coming out of the soil. At the same time, we need to earn or contribute something or to act as a guardian to save the soil for the future. So the soils are not like what we have seen earlier, and they are definitely degraded. And as a research community exclusively working on that aspect, every one of us should take care of like rejuvenating or protecting these these soils from degradation, or how to bring them back or rejuvenating them back for cultivation, etc. And first, I would like to thank ISSS and also like other officials and recognized researchers in the field of soil science for having chosen TNAU as your host for organizing this nationally very important event. So ISSS, I know very well, it's one of the oldest societies related to agriculture. It's started during 1934, almost around 92nd year you are celebrating, I think. 91st year or 92nd year of anniversary you are celebrating.
89.
And so such a, a recognized society, so coming to TNAU and organizing this convention on the relevant titles, like I could see you have conducted 2 sessions, and the third one I heard from the industry side, recent advancements in soil science for rural transformation. Such a fantastic topic and most relevant topic it is. And the second one is developments in soil science, right? So as you know, it's our duty and responsibility to educate or to sensitize all our youngsters on the recent developments in the field of soil science. There are n number of developments. I think all your fascinating fields or sciences are proliferating or branching out from soil science. Say for example, one is remote sensing and geospatial studies. It's wonderful field. So has come out from core soil science, and second one is nanotechnology. So those 2 technologies are going to come in a big way. So in sustaining agricultural growth in the country, not only in the country but also in the world. And it's also like one of the most wanted research as per the current situation. So once you get into these 3 topics, we will be able to realize the importance of soil science. So whatever the variety comes or whatever the technology comes, without advancements in soil science or without ensuring the soil quality or soil health, you will not be able to harvest that you project. So whatever the variety having yield potential of 12 tons or 14 tons, even super rice or green super rice, if you put into problem soil, you will not be able to harvest even 50% of that. Then we cannot imagine about food security or like transforming rural economy or achieving or reaching #1 in the country. So such an important field, somehow we have forgotten it for over 30 to 40 years. So we were focusing on key performance indicator yield, but forgot this area on soil health. So we focused mainly on yield, like no one can deny that India has increased the food production by 6 to 8 fold, from around 50 million tons to 338 million tons now. 6 to 7 fold we have achieved the food security and we have eradicated poverty. So whatever the claim we made, on the other side, at the cost of what? So at the cost of what we have achieved this growth? So we have increased the fertilizer use by 6-fold. So during 1960s, we were using like only 10,000 tons of fertilizer. But now you see how much quantity of chemical we are putting into the soil. It's almost like 60 million metric tons. So it's increased by more than 60-fold or 70-fold. So such huge quantity of fertilizers we are putting into the soil. And during 60s and 70s, so we were applying hardly around 40 to 50 kg of fertilizers into 1 hectare of land. But now to achieve the same yield, like we need to apply more than 250 kg of fertilizer. So the fertilizer response ratio has come down drastically. So 1:13 plus, above 13. Now it's 1:2.5 or 2.7. So such a huge reduction, reduced by 6 to 7 fold. So we need to increase the fertilizer application by several fold to achieve the sustenance in the agricultural growth. So this puts lot of question or pressure on major aspects. One is sustainability. Whether we will be sustainable enough to continue the same rate of application of fertilizer, definitely not. We are going to run out of resources or worse. And second one is cost of cultivation. And the third one is soil quality and health. Our soils cannot afford applying this much huge quantity of fertilizer into them. Such a small statistic, like we have considered, as I said, we have completely forgotten about soil health. So we have considered, for the past 40 to 50 years, we have considered soil as a rock, like a physical-chemical bed to raise the crop. We have forgotten to consider it as a living entity. So without soil, there is no life on the earth, or there is no life on the earth without soil. So it's vice versa relation, interrelated. So the small statistics I was seeing in the web today, like soil health card, we are analyzing lakhs and lakhs of soil samples every year. Like till in these 11 months during 25-26, so not even 11 months from April 1 to now, 7 to 8 months time, throughout India, we have analyzed around 50 lakh soil samples for major nutrients, soil organic content and microflora. So very surprisingly or very shockingly, 75% of our soils are poor in nitrogen. Poor or low in nitrogen. 50+% of samples are poor in phosphorus and potash. So see the level of fertility in our soil, but we are applying tons and tons of fertilizer into the soil where they are going, and like mostly volatilization, leaching, polluting the surrounding environment, etc. Whether really it is required to apply this much quantity of fertilizer, no one knows. And what happens to the excess quantity of fertilizer applied? And like only 50% of the soils they have adequate quantity of organic matter, such a worrying factor. So before 50 to 60 years, we were not applying chemical fertilizers, and all our soils were enriched with organic matter. In turn, they helped the microbes to flourish in the soil or proliferate well in the soil. So in one of our projects, last year budget, as our director was mentioning, like MKS, on that, to save the life on the earth, we need to preserve or protect life inside the soil. So we have analyzed around 300 samples throughout Tamil Nadu in each and every agricultural block. We selected one agriculturally intensive village and collected the soil, and we profiled everything. The same factor is reflected in terms of nutrient level, fertility status, etc. But the most worrying factor is like soil organic carbon and the microbial activity. So microbial activity, it's except two areas. One is Nilgiri hilly area, another one is high rainfall zone near Kanyakumari. Except to these two zones, microbial activity is very poor in our soil. Tamil Nadu has around 7 agroclimatic zones, remaining 5 agroclimatic zones. So the soil has moderate or low level of microbial activity. So we need to think of analyzing these kind of characters. So in all of the soil and the location specific programs have to be formulated, etc. And this soil health, so what determines the soil health? I don't have to tell much about these things to you. All of you are learned soil scientists, but there are a lot of advancements have come. So we cannot afford giving lot of time to take up research on that and conduct research on our own, and we need to learn how to take lessons from others. So there are a number of literatures published everywhere, and we can pick up those informations quickly and to deploy or like to optimize those findings to our condition to improve the physical health or chemical health or biological health of the soil. It's not a single terminology or a simple terminology, the soil health is. So it's a very complex phenomenon. Each and every characteristics or health parameter of soil, so it needs definite intervention. So if you don't follow it clearly, you will not be able to achieve the desired changes in the soil. Physical manipulation or chemical manipulation or biological manipulation. and a small experiment or a pilot we are doing. And as the introducer told, we are taking up a huge program on developing efficacy testing structure for biofertilizer. We all know that biofertilizers are more than 50-year old invention, and everyone knows about biofertilizer. But even after 50 years, so it's very definite that every report we are seeing, they have like 10% yield advantage or at least 5% yield advantage. Even with these advantages, why the technology is not adopted at a high rate at national level? So the maximum adoption rate is 14 to 50% in Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. Other states, the adoption level is less than 8% or 7%. So when we took up a survey on that, so the farmers are aware of that, about the technology and their efficacy, they know very well. Then what is the lacuna? So inconsistency. And a few lacunas we have documented, and we conducted massive set of experiments, 10 different crops and 12 different locations in Tamil Nadu. We tried the same combination of biofertilizer. The results are very, very interesting. Like at 100% fertilizer rate, biofertilizers don't work. It's waste of your energy and money to apply along with 100%. It works very nicely at 50% chemical fertilizer, recommended dose of fertilizer, and 75% recommended dose of fertilizer. And in all angles, not only yield without yield penalty or yield maintenance, but in terms of quantity of nutrients applied to the plant, quantity of nutrients retained in the soil, and also like fertilizer response ratio. So it works very well. And that's what it found a place. I'm happy to share that our finding or our research results are presented by Mr. Gates. So in his notes to COP30, which it's still ongoing in Brazil. And our finding was it found a place in the Global Innovation Village. So 6 innovations were displayed. So one of the 6 is from TNAU. So, and I compliment all the soil scientists are also involved in that, and microbiologists are leading the project. And similar to this, the research community, ASEA research community, we need to generate these kind of information and make it available to the farmers, or we need to learn how to communicate to the farmers in their language. Like we can write paper in Nature or Science or in Frontiers, etc., but no farmer will read that, or no policymaker will read that scientific paper. So we need to learn how to communicate it to the farmers, or how to communicate to the policymaker. And today I came to know that our chief guest, so he has connections with all the policymakers and all. So once the research results are finalized, so we are planning to have a stakeholder meeting during January. So with the policymaker or leading progressive farmer and other extension functionary to communicate these findings or information, so that it will be taken to the society. So Government of India and the Government of Tamil Nadu, so they have massive programs on soil health. So it's a highly relevant topic now. Whatever the scientific meeting you go, or whatever
The commendation certificate goes to Dr. Beckham Rakesh. And Dr. Anil. And Dr. Geom, elevated atmospheric ozone conditions. Nandini Pradhan, being an
Sir, ready, go.
Valedictory match.
Okay. Sir, ready, open. Sir, ready.
And Nandi Kishore, and between
Sir, ready.
next award, the assessment of basic slag as a lining material to ameliorate.
Sir, ready.
Next one, studies on long-term fertilization effect on soil.
Ready,
Potassium solubilizing bacteria,
ready,
organic
sir.
resources and chemical fertilizers on potassium release behavior, nutrient uptake,
ready, sir.
microbial analysis in leaf litter decomposition and nutrient release in northern Guinea savanna soils by Akinsola Ishaka Amaku from Nigeria.
Sir, ready, madam, ready.
Next poster award goes to conjoint application of organic and inorganic sources of nutrients on system productivity and boron availability in soil under
Ready, sir, ready. Okay.
Organizing of this outstanding convention that you successfully brought him at the valedictory function. So happiest congratulations to you. His coming and presence here enriched this today's evening, this program. So it was an outstanding, heartiest congratulations to each of you. Also, in this evening, Dr. A. Ravindran, Director of Research, Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, we enjoyed your long speech on many areas, but particularly on soil science. Dr. P. Balasubramaniam, we know for last 10 years, I know him when I was director, and he was counselor of the Indian Society of Soil Science, apart from his, and also the director of Fertilizer Association of India, Dr. S.K. Chaudhary, was also in this convention. He also conveyed his best wishes, and on my own behalf, and also on behalf of the Director General of Research, Dr. Himanshu Pathak, as well as Director General of FAI, I convey my heartiest congratulations and very, very best wishes for making it successful. With us, Dr. Ranjan Bhattacharya, the Secretary of ISSS, all the award winners, everyone who are here in this evening, in this valedictory function, hearty welcome, warm welcome from my side, and heartiest congratulations for your participations, 400 participations to everyone. Now, just few words. These conventions, outstandingly successful, I must say, from my own understanding, I must say. The details were given by Dr. Ranjan Bhattacharya about the different technical sessions, the papers, and subsequently the Director of Research also made so well. Many things have been spoken, I am not going to repeat all those things. Two special, special session, one special session, which was the first time, as Dr. Murthy also told, and their participations not only for scientifically, but also for their sponsorship. Fertilizer Association of India sponsored for this session and for their contributions. So they really deserve a loud applause for their significant contributions. And on then we got also special symposium on the innovations in soil science for rural transformations. That is a very important one, and where the presence of both the Director Generals, the expert, the ex-presidents, everyone, the special session gone really very well. You know, in the present time, as already our Honorable Chief Guest so nicely, so clearly, without being in the subject of soil science, so nicely he explained the importance. In the present time, three major challenges the world is facing. One is land degradation. More than 30% of the world has degraded, and it is increasing alarmingly. Another is with the land degradations, the declining of biodiversity is very fast. It has been estimated, you know, that every year, 1,000 to 10,000 species getting extinct because land degradations and climate change. These three things are really the major challenges of the world today. And in this, the food system is getting affected much. The most affected sector is the food system, the agriculture. And when we talk agriculture, obviously soil is the key. So land degradation is soil degradations. As we talk, the soil is a living system. And living system thrives on the organic matter. The microorganisms, the living system is dependent very much on the organic matter. Their food is the organic matter. And if the soil is dead, we cannot produce. So for that, we need to enrich the soil with carbon. A lot of discussions have been made on that. And soil degradation is also creating other many issues. You know, the productivity. For the productivity, we are putting more and more inputs. Intensive agriculture. Today's agriculture is inputs intensive agriculture, where every year we are increasing the fertilizers. In 1970, 1 kilogram of fertilizers was producing more than 15 kilogram of grains. And now that fertilizer, 1 kilogram fertilizer is producing hardly 5 kilogram of grains. Our food production increased, you know, from 50 million tons in 1950, now it is about 340 million tons. So much of jump over the years from the same piece of land. So land is degrading, our soil is degrading, and it is almost constant. We can create, you know, we can make new varieties of crops or animals, whatever, because our science has advanced a lot. Three very important is, one is your good soil, good seed, and good water. These are the three pillars of agriculture we know. And the soil, if it is degraded, the capacity of the soil, if it is not functioning to produce, so our food production is endangered. It is in danger. So we need to protect it, to conserve it. We can have good varieties. We can conserve the water. We can have micro irrigation many ways to increase the efficiency. But we cannot create soil. Soil is such a thing, it cannot be created in the laboratories. It can only be protected, it can be only conserved. So a very serious issue is to save our soil. So these 3 days convention dealt on many aspects: how to save our soil, how to conserve our soils, how to improve the fertility of the soils, how to use different sciences for these different activities, for the conservation, for the increasing the productivity, different disciplines of agriculture and other sciences like remote sensing, new tools and technologies, how to integrate those for sustaining the soil functioning, for better management, so that our soil is protected, it is conserved, it can sustain the intensive agriculture. Sustaining the intensive agriculture is the most important and challenging thing of today, to feed our country, to feed the world. By 2050, our population will be 1.7 billion, and our food production require more than 400 million tons on the same piece of total cultivated net area of 140 million hectares. Plus minus 2 we say, but in fact these 140 million hectares we are telling over the last 20 years, exact amount, exact area, what is the now, we are not very much knowing it. It may be 10 million hectares less. So that is a matter of research, what exactly we are now. And you know, thousands of hectares of good fertile lands going for brick making. Every year the industry, the cities, high-rise buildings on the bricks, and that is coming from the soils, often from the top fertile soils. The rural India getting, you know, the buildings on the good agricultural lands. So our population is increasing, more than 90% food coming from the soil, and not only the food, the antibiotics. 90% antibiotics come from the soil. The soil is so precious. So this message should go to the society. A very important message we are carrying today, care on consumption, and that also having a message to solve our problems on the natural resources and particularly on the soil, and contribute to the nature, contribute to the soil, at least by making the awareness, the importance of soil in the society. That will be helpful. We often say soil is dead. Soil is dead. It is not dead. General public, other than farmers, not very much aware of the importance. We feel that soil will be there for thousands of years. Nothing going to happen to the soil. It is there, it will be there, but it is not like that. As per FAO, that there are hardly 60 years to go when our all fertile top soils will be eroded. All top soils will be eroded and we will land with nothing if we do not take care its importance and its conservation and protection today. So all these deliberations of these 3 days deliberations, excellent presentations by the participants and the delegates from all over the country, and not only from the country, we have also very distinguished delegates from other countries. Philosophy, the concept, the reasons why these experiments were established, these Tamil Nadu Agricultural University conceived, understood that many years, 116 years before. So they are much ahead of rest of the country. Another thing of this university, the landmark is the nanotechnology. You know, nanotechnology laboratory, before 20 years, this university established outstanding laboratory. I have visited. And really now we are talking a lot about nanotechnology, but this university made the beginning, I should say. And the scientists of this university made outstanding contributions. Nanotechnology having a lot of opportunities when we talk about the precision agriculture. Your input saving agriculture, because a lot of things can be taught, but time is limited. Very the soil science, the allied science of soil science, extremely important, because we are directly dealing for the food system, for the food productions. So everyone, farmers for whom we are working, the policy makers also working for these rural people, the villages. All the stakeholders must understand and realize the importance and accordingly support all kind of support. Yesterday, Honorable Prime Minister, he talked so loudly, so empathetically that we have got sound traditional system, the organic farming, natural farming. We have got strong science. We need the support from all sectors, particularly from the government, and that is very much needed for sustaining the soil. Because if we continue, if we do not return what the soil is giving, then we will not be able to sustain. So all the science, all kind of new advanced technologies, that should be integrated with the traditional approaches, traditional systems of food production, so that our soil ecosystem is sustained for the future food production of this country. We are
So I take this opportunity to express our sincere, heartfelt thanks to the Indian Society of Soil Science headquarters, New Delhi, for having given a golden opportunity to host the 89th Annual Convention of Indian Society of Soil Science at TNAU Coimbatore. I express my sincere thanks to our respected Acting Vice Chancellor and Registrar TNAU for permitting us to conduct the convention, and who has delivered the special address in the inaugural function, and Dr. S.K. Chaudhary sir, Director General FAI in New Delhi, for the keynote address, and Agricultural Production Commissioner, Government of India, for the inaugural address, who has given online, and Dr. Himanshu Pandar, President, Indian Society of Soil Science, Director General, Increase sir, had a word for the presidential address, and the dynamic director, technical director, Directorate of Natural Resource Management, Director of Research, Dean AC&RI Madurai, for their meticulous guidance and support. And the office bearers of Indian Society of Soil Science, New Delhi, Dr. Himanshu Pathak sir, and Dr. Ranjan Bhattacharya, Dr. Manoj Srivastava, and Mr. Vijay, for their continuous support and guidance for the conduct of this program.
On behalf of the farming community, not of Coimbatore, the whole of the nation, I would like to give her a shout and offer my congratulations. Thank you.
Giving a vote of thanks is a difficult job. It is like a marriage. If you forget any senior person or any person, then you will get a lot of scolding. So what but it is customary to present a vote of thanks on behalf of Indian Society of Soil Science. So I am presenting that, and respected dignitary on the dais, Dr. A.K. Patra, Vice Chancellor, BCKV, Dr. V. Murugan, former Director Research, Dr. Ravindran, Director Research, Dr. Balasubramaniam, Director NRM, Dr. Mrs. V. Selvi, and dignitary of the dais, distinguished speakers, esteemed delegates, colleagues, Honorable Past President, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed my honor and privilege to propose a formal vote of thanks on this momentous occasion of valedictory program of 89th Annual Convention of Indian Society of Soil Science. At the outset, on behalf of Indian Society of Soil Science and entire organizing team, I extend my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to Dr. Himanshu Pathak, President, Indian Society of Soil Science, and Director General, ISSSS, Hyderabad. Sir, your vision and leadership continue to guide the soil science community across the country. I am thankful to Dr. A.K. Patra, Sir, Vice Chancellor, BCKV, West Bengal, for delivering inspiring valedictory address. Thank you, sir. Your vision and leadership and your presidential address definitely help us to move ahead in the field of soil science. We deeply thankful to Mr. Dr. Ravindran, Director Research, for enlightening the plenary address. Your support for agricultural and natural resource research has been remarkable. We are grateful to Dr. V. Murugan, former Director of Research, Soil and Crop Management Studies, TNAU, for his gracious felicitation and for being guiding light to generation of soil scientists. We are thankful to Dr. P. Balasubramaniam for his special remarks. Thank you, sir. A special appreciations to all the chairpersons, co-chairpersons, rapporteurs, chairman of judging committee of poster sessions, and all the technical session, and for presenting the consolidated reports in ensuring the excellent conduct of scientific deliberation throughout the convention. We would like special thanks to students of this university, particularly Soil Science Department and other department, for their tireless and continuous support. They are working day and night for making this program successful. Thank you for taking time from your hard studies from different departments. Thank you very much, all the students.